Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well and enjoying the energies. Just wanted to mention a couple things about the new moon in Capricorn. It's actually a pretty good energy to start the new year off. We had a pretty good new year with Mercury and Jupiter going direct on the 31st and 1st, but setting intentions and making those New Year's resolutions is really good for the energy that we're having for this new moon on the 11th of January, Thursday, Jupiter Day, at 3:57 a.m. And this is going to be at 20 degrees Capricorn. And this is also going to be squaring the nodes, the North Node and the South Node. So the moon is in Capricorn at 20 degrees, and then North Node is in Aries, and the South Node is in Libra at 20 degrees and 12 minutes. The moon will be at 20 degrees and 44 minutes, so nearly exact. But this is at the degree that is connected to Scorpio. So if you go around the zodiac enough times, starting with Aries, which is the first sign, and you go around, you get to Scorpio, which is the 8th sign, and then you go around again, and then when you stop at 20, that's Scorpio again. So we've got a new moon in the sign of Capricorn at 20 degrees, which is a Scorpio degree. And Scorpio is all about death and rebirth and transformation, getting rid of toxicity so that new life can emerge. And with the squares to the nodes, this is really like a choice point. You can think of it as a crossroads. And there's a lot of energy in Capricorn right now. So the moon, the sun, Pluto is at 29 degrees Capricorn, and Mars is in Capricorn at about 4 degrees at the moment. Mercury is about to go back into Capricorn. Mercury is finishing its time in Sagittarius, squaring currently Neptune for the last time. So like this is the third and last time this time that Mercury will be squaring Neptune. So if you've been feeling like overwhelmed with options, or kind of, in the fog, or unclear about what direction to go in, this is probably due to that Mercury Neptune square, because Sagittarius and Pisces are both Jupiter ruled signs, and so there can be an overwhelm of options, not knowing what to do. Neptune itself is already foggy and illusory and unclear, very like there's a lot of things that are hidden when Neptune is in the picture. And so actually Mercury is at 27 degrees Sagittarius right now, which is the Galactic Center degree, and that's the point in space that is connected to the black holes. And recently, in the past month and a half or so, we've been having really strong solar flares. And with Mercury, I just saw, I think it's Earth 1111 on Instagram. She just gave another energy update and was talking about the intense solar flares that we just had over the past 24 hours. Yeah, Earth 1111. And it's been causing us, trouble sleeping, maybe joint pain, needing to rest. Some people may have that appetite, like a strong appetite, and it's important to consume nutrient-dense foods, not just like anything that's convenient and available. Because if you just like pick up something on your way to wherever you're going, and like it's a biscuit or sandwich, or something that's carb heavy and processed, it's going to actually deplete those nutrients. So you want something that's going to be nutrient dense and whole, like whole foods, not the grocery store, but just like unprocessed foods. So Mercury is currently at the Galactic Center, and this is where we're able to receive those universal messages and really become aware of our divine purpose. And we're getting those messages from, like, if we're needing to sleep more, we probably are replenishing and rejuvenating our cells, and we're also receiving information from the universe, whether it's through dreams. Dreams are really important to pay attention to right now. And if you have a notebook or something to write with, then write your dreams down as soon as you wake up. The thing to do, which is like easier said than done, is like going back and reading what you wrote, going back over your dreams to see if there's some messages that you can glean from the imagery that you received in your dreams. So at the same time, before Mercury goes into Capricorn, it is forming this T-square with Vesta in Gemini. And Vesta is an asteroid that represents home and hearth. And in the sign of Gemini, this can be like the storyteller who's, got a thirst for curiosity and really goes to the opposite ends of the spectrum to find the truth. And like storytellers, Nikola Tesla had Vesta in Gemini, Prince had Vesta in Gemini, Amy Winehouse, and so it's just interesting to like see who has this placement and what has transpired. So I see Vesta in Gemini as the social media journalists who are really, they really have a passion and they're devoted to finding out the truth and going through all the details and trying to find information that's been hidden, Neptune. And so while this can all be very captivating, and like Vesta in Gemini is actually retrograde at the moment. And so when planets or asteroids or objects are retrograde, it's kind of like going back to tie up some loose ends, or go back and revisit those details that are like kind of unfinished. And so we can see that happening in the news with lists that are being released, and we kind of speculated who was on the list and who wasn't. And that's another thing with this energy, with the T-square with Mercury in Sagittarius, Vesta in Gemini, and Neptune in Pisces. Mercury and Sagittarius can also be sensationalized headlines, and so that's kind of like a lot of words being thrown around, but not a lot of headway. And so it's kind of important to, be aware of where your energy is being spent and like how it's being used. And these rabbit holes can, like I said, be captivating, and you want to get all the tea or whatnot, but it's important to stay centered and not get distracted, not get pulled away, and from our centeredness, because then that will block the messages from the divine, from the universe. And so we really want to be a clear channel so that we can receive those messages, so we can understand and be aware of what our divine purpose is. And this square to Neptune can also be creativity. Like if there's a creative outlet like painting, drawing, writing, there can also be messages that come through your writing and your artwork as well. Just staying in that centered, like state of mind where you're not being flooded with, emotionally charged imagery. And with Saturn in Pisces right now, there's also the lesson of limiting and like making sure that your time is being well spent and your energy is being well spent, and making sure that you're not giving too much of your time and energy into things that are not productive, and things that are emotionally draining. So you really want to protect your energy. This will allow us to collectively transform. Again, the 20 degrees is a Scorpio degree, and the moon and the sun are approaching Pluto in Capricorn, which is at 29 degrees. So Pluto's going to move into Aquarius on the 20th. So there's that kind of, it's kind of synchronistic. 20 again being related to Scorpio. And the new moon happens on January 11th, so 1/11/2023. So just something to kind of like think about and pay attention to. And so with the moon and the sun right behind Pluto, we are kind of picking up on the intuition and the instincts of Pluto. Pluto's a very like psychic and intuitive energy. It's the ruler of Scorpio, and Scorpio is really skilled at sussing out what's been hidden, like secrets, and there's always truth buried underneath, and like truth is always being hidden, especially now. And so when the sun and Pluto move together into Aquarius, we're going to start to really become more aware of the hidden truths that have been dormant for so long at the 29 degree Capricorn area of our life. I mean, Capricorn is related to those in authority, governments, is also related to father figures, corporations, systems, traditions. And so Pluto coming out of Capricorn is really transforming all of those things. It's like a huge paradigm shift. And so that is, something to be aware of so that we can take care of ourselves. And this is a very, huge shift. Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2011, so it's not completely out of Capricorn. It'll dip back in to a Capricorn around, I think, September, October. So, but after that, it'll be fully in Aquarius, and that's a big shift, and that can be very taxing on the body. Just like so many changes can be a lot to handle, a lot to deal with, a lot to get used to. Because with these shifts, that requires us to also make changes that that's kind of like flipping the script. Is we're really reversing the reversed and unlearning a lot of history that we thought to be true. And so it's emotionally draining. It can be disappointing. It can be emotionally. Did I say emotionally draining? Yeah. So it's important to take the time to rest. And if you are needing that rest, chances are that people around you are also needing that time and space as well. But rest assured, this is change for the positive, and we can see that Mars will be, or is, trining Jupiter in Taurus, and so those are both earth signs. Those are both tangible rewards. And with Mars in Capricorn, I see that as being very ambitious, driven. Capricorn can also be status, and so with Mars in Capricorn, we could be changing our status, whether we're quitting a job, or we're getting let go, or we're getting a divorce, or we're getting married, or whatever your status was. It's starting to shift, change, and Capricorn is all about paperwork as well. So like getting through the paperwork, this is kind of like a heads down type of energy. Capricorn is also like that loner vibe, where it's in solitude so that they can get some work done. Very diligent and serious. So with Mars trining Jupiter, this can be like receiving those blessings and rewards from that hard work. And so I can kind of see this as blooming ambition. And these two, Jupiter and Mars, are at 5 degrees, and they are both making a sextile aspect to Saturn in Pisces, which is at 4 degrees at the moment, so it's within a degree. And the sextile aspects are creative opportunities, and Saturn in Pisces is water, and then Capricorn and Taurus are earth. So these elements can really create something strong, foundational, and with the Pisces energies, it can be like those dreams coming true, those manifestations that we've been praying for so long. And Saturn is that spiritual discipline to keep us in alignment and making sure that we're not misusing or not allowing our energy to be misused, or we're not abusing our energy ourselves. There's been so many people that have quit drinking that in the past handful of months even, which is great. We're starting to understand the side effects of alcohol and how it's only been dragging us down and not allowing us to really access our full potential. And it's really a distraction, and it doesn't allow those messages to come through. It's kind of like we want to keep our channel clear and free from any distractions or toxicity. And so, yeah, the Saturn and Pisces energy is really playing well with the Capricorn placements and the Taurus placements. And right before, or like currently at this moment, today is we're moving into the 9th of January, or 10th of January, and the Sun is making a trine to Uranus, and Uranus is like it shakes things up. It's a planet of unexpected events, blessings in disguise. It can cause a lot of chaos and disruptions, but these are the breakthroughs that you didn't know you needed. And it'll shake things out of stagnation and put things back together that were meant to be together, or just get rid of the stuff that's unnecessary, so new things can emerge. I think that's about all I can say about the new moon. Going back to the Vesta in Gemini, the T-square with Neptune and Mercury, you can kind of see how there's been a lot of crazy headlines about like the mall in Miami, and I'm not even sure what was really going on there, but there's that and the list, and there's a lot of other things going on in the world that, I guess there was an explosion in New York at a synagogue. Like, they're discovering all these underground tunnels and bunkers. There is a YouTuber, she's also on Instagram as Really Graceful, who puts together these nice, concise montages of what's been going on. So they're definitely, clips of things that make you go, like thought-provoking, but they are not delivered in a way that's like clickbait. It's not screaming at you through the screen. It's just like a nice, synopsis of some of the stories that are floating around that, that are just there to kind of make you aware of what these systems are trying to pull. And once you realize that, these are so, they're just so out there and just like ridiculous. For me, yeah, I'm just going to speak for myself, but it just makes me want to retreat back in. And a lot of it is, like I can only shake my head because they're really pulling out all the stops with the Pluto and Capricorn at 29 degrees. They're like hanging on for dear life, trying to keep control and trying to still use those fear tactics. But the more we stay in our centeredness, the more we can trust ourselves and not have to rely on what's happening in the news. Most people that I've talked to are feeling like a more optimistic vibe and just having like more awareness and waking up to what's really going on. And if you're still feeling, if you're not feeling optimistic and you're feeling like you don't know what I'm talking about, like, how can I feel this way? Optimism is there, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, then that might be a sign to turn the news off and put your feet in the ground and, not get distracted. And, distractions can come in a lot of different forms. There can be the distraction or like addiction to being distracted through work or socializing or, happy hour, whatever it might be. And there's a lot of benefit from being in solitude, like really coming into, your centeredness and remembering what you enjoy doing. And like, it's going to take a lot of quiet time and reflection to, remember those things that brought you joy, regardless of who was watching. Like, there's nobody that you need to make proud except for yourself. It's just you. Like, make yourself proud. You don't need to make your family proud. Like, if you have children, there's that karma of, being a good example for them. But, be the kind of example that you can be proud of, regardless of who is watching. And that's another thing. That's another reason why astrology is so helpful, because once you understand how these planets line up in your chart, you're able to really validate why you prefer B over A, or why you have a certain way of doing things. You're not like a weirdo because, you like to peel stickers off of glass bottles, like there's a reason for everything astrologically. So once we come into those realizations and understandings, we can alleviate a lot of stress and use that energy more toward realigning ourselves and building something for the future and for the collective. Because once we come into alignment with ourselves, then we can collectively work together and like raise the vibration and really flip the energies of like basically reverse the reverse. Because that's what's been going on the past hundreds of years is, us doubting ourselves, us, like being programmed to believe that we don't have the power when in fact we have all the power. So there's going to be a lot of eye-opening experiences this year, especially with Aries being the North Node and Mars being the ruler of the North Node. And Venus is the ruler of the South Node, so there's going to be a lot of relationships that will be, released. But again, like, this is part of the evolutionary process. And, everybody's got a role to play, and there's no judgment. And, you know, as long as we stay in our integrity and we're, you know, focused on what we have in front of us and not worried about what other people are doing, then we'll be okay. We'll be good. You know, like everybody is exactly where we're supposed to be. We are exactly where we're supposed to be. So, yeah, I think that was about all I had to mention about this new moon. So, yeah, it's a good time to set new long-term intentions. Capricorn is all about the long-term sustainability, you know, like the long haul. And these are really planting seeds. It's not going to happen overnight, but if we all are planting seeds, then eventually, like, new, beautiful things are going to emerge. So I hope that made sense, and I hope that was helpful. Thank you for listening. Thank you for engaging with the videos. I appreciate your comments and your likes, and yeah, feel free to share with anybody you feel might benefit from this insight. I mean, I know I'm not the most like entertaining, but hopefully my words make sense. So yeah, thank you so much again, and I will see you on the next one. Happy New Moon in Capricorn.